in our country's history. We have to win. And we don't need it for the big political event. We need it to save our country. When Kamala came in, she deliberately dismantled our border and threw open the gates. She threw them open. The gates to an invasion of criminal migrants from prisons and jails, from insane asylums and mental institutions, from all over the world, from Venezuela to the Congo in Africa. A lot of people coming out of the Congo, not just South America. They're coming from 181 countries as of yesterday. Right, and we're a dumping ground. We're like a garbage can for the world. That's what's happened. That's what's happened to our. We're like a garbage can. You know, it's the first time I've ever said that. And every time I come up and talk about what they've done to our country, I get angrier and angrier. First time I've ever said garbage can, but you know what? It's a very accurate description. Meanwhile, she cruelly forced our border agents to help facilitate her wicked betrayal of America. And by the way, the Border Patrol last week gave us their complete and total endorsement, and they said she is the worst. I want to thank them. And they, at the same time, they said she is so bad, she's the worst, you can't have her. And they don't want to do that. It's probably not easy for them to do that. But you know what? They said she's horrible. She was the border czar, and she never made one phone call. Not only didn't she come to the border, she never made a phone call. And now, a few months ago, when she was getting killed, both of them, him and her, they were getting killed. They made it a little bit tougher, but they forgot to stop the airplanes going overhead. We said, how come those planes are still flying? Hundreds of thousands of people flown into our country, landing in our beautiful Midwest and other places, and they're devastated. You know what's happening to Springfield, Ohio, and Aurora, and Colorado. What they're doing to our country. We are joined today by the former senior Border Patrol chief of the San Diego sector, Aaron Heitke, an eyewitness to one of the most horrific scandals in American history carried out by Kamala. Well, she was appointed by this guy because he has to go to sleep every night at 4 o'clock. And she was appointed by him, and therefore she was the border czar, but she doesn't want to be called, so who cares what she is? She was appointed to take care of our border. We had the worst border, and now, and by the way, she also destroyed San Francisco, one of the greatest cities in the world, 15, 16 years ago. And California, when she was Attorney General, a disaster between her and Gavin Newsom is the worst. But it's deadly. What they've done is deadly. The open border policy is a disaster. Aaron, please come up and say a few words. Border Patrol.
I've never seen anything worse than the last 4 years that I've seen under the current administration. I had the pleasure of working for President Trump, and things were never better. I had the misfortune of spending the last 4 years watching our border be overrun. It's been nonstop. The agents' morale has been destroyed. It's been very difficult to watch. I testified in front of the Senate recently to get the word out. The public doesn't know. This administration has continued to say there's no threat at the border. We have a continuous threat, a serious threat at the border that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aaron. And that's heartfelt, too. That's heartfelt. He just wants it to be straightened out, along with one of the incredible people. Getting their endorsement was my great honor. But it says something. And we had unanimous, thousands of people, unanimous. Who could ever get that? because she's so bad. She's so bad. I watched last night. I don't watch CNN often, it's fake news, but I watched last night. Oh, oops, the camera just went off. I watched last night, she did a town hall. Honestly, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. There's never been anything like that. We can't let it happen. We can't. That's why you have to get everyone saying how well we're doing. You still get out. The people that haven't voted, get out and vote. We can't take a chance. We can't take a chance on this disaster continuing because we won't have a country left if it does. The 4-year-long nightmare that Kamala Harris has forced your men to endure, your men, your women, your children, it's a nightmare for the whole planet. You want to know the truth, because we represent so much. We represent the American dream. The whole world is watching us, and they see these people that don't deserve to be in any position of authority. Remember, he got, whether you like him or not, I'm not a fan of his. Did you see last night? He blew it. He said, lock him up. He said lock him up last night. He's not allowed to say that. He's such a stupid guy. Such a stupid fool. He's such a guy. But they actually, remember this. They took it away from them. They did something that's never happened. You know, you can use different words, but they just took away the presidency of the United States. And they wanted to be politically correct. They gave it to her. And she was last. She was the first one out, and she came in out of the top 13 contenders. She came in last, and they gave her she got no votes. He got 14 million, whether you like this guy or not, and not too many people are thrilled. And, you know, if you remember, we had a debate, and he didn't do great in the debate, but you know what? That's what happens. And he went down, and he was not doing great, but you got to let him ride it out, right? Instead, they took him out. They said, you're coming out. We're not going to let you. They tell this to the president. This is crazy Nancy. She's crazy as a bed bug, that one. Now, she's a nut job who's crooked as hell. Listen, she started over with nothing. 2 weeks ago, a company that was going to be investigated the following day, she had a lot of stock in the company. She sold the stock the day before they announced the investigation of the company. That's crazy Nancy. No, I think she's immune from investigation. Can you believe? I think she's immune, but not a good person. So when I win on November 5th, the Migrant, and remember this, we're going to win. I think we're going to win maybe bigger than anyone understands. And when I win on November 5th, and it's not me, we win. We're going to win. When we win on November 5th, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. We're going to restore our country. One of the deadliest and most vicious migrant gangs that Kamala has imported into our country. Essentially, she open borders. When you say open borders, and then they say, we're going to give you health care, education, we're going to give... They're forced to come up, right? Sheriff, you look good, handsome guy. But they come in. It's like a magnet. They come in. They're promised everything. In New York, they get hotel rooms, luxury hotel rooms, and our veterans are forced to sleep on the streets. Think of it. But as the savage Venezuela prison gang formed in the prison, Tren de Aragua, that is taking over apartment complexes and unleashing a violent terror spree. This is in that case in Colorado. And the governor, who's a radical left Democrat, is petrified of the situation. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. Replace him. I think we replace him. I hope Colorado, you know, Colorado with the governor, this weak guy, Colorado was the one that tried to get Trump. I'm leading every candidate, including the Democrats, on the ballot, and they put in a petition to have me removed from the ballot. And then they say, think of it. They didn't get very far, but this guy tried that. So, and then they say, I'm a threat to democracy. I'm a threat. No, they're a threat. But they even are taking over parts of Times Square. They're all over the place now, and they have weapons like very few people have. So let's take a look.
Open borders and
that's what we have. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Thanks a lot, Kamala. We appreciate it. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. We're not going to have this. November 5th, 2024 will be called Liberation Day in America. We're going to be liberated. Under Kamala Harris, 13,099, this information right from the Border Patrol, not even believable, 13,099 illegal alien convicted murderers were set to prey upon the United States of America. Think of that. And 425,000 convicted criminal aliens were released into our country over the last 3.5 years. Think of that, 425,000. Last year, an illegal alien was arrested at the Arizona border and then released into the United States by Kamala's horrible open border policy. He went on to repeatedly rape and strangle a woman, killing some, they don't know how many, and is now facing over 100 years in prison. Thank you very much, Kamala. We appreciate it. Through our open border, Kamala Harris is also actively aiding and abetting the worst human traffickers, child smugglers, drug dealers, bloodthirsty criminal networks. We have them all, the worst murderers in the world. They make our criminals look like nice people, I'm telling you. The cartel's profits have soared from $500 million a year under Trump to $13 billion under the border czar, Kamala. And every day they're stealing innocent lives on both sides of the border. They're killing people left and right. Nobody knows it. And the fake news right back there, they don't want to report it. They don't want to report it. They don't put it. You know, when I put these, I have friends, they love the rallies. They want to watch the rallies, and they always do. And the other day, one of my friends said, you know, we love the rallies, but you put up these great clips that are very descriptive, and the fake news will not put the camera on the clips. I didn't know that, you know. I just heard that. And we tell them to do it. We tell them to do it, but they don't do it. They just keep that camera zoomed in on me. Such a waste of time. Now, we have some clips. They're great clips. And the people at home, we got millions of people watching on television, but they won't move those cameras. I try and shame them. I do whatever I can. They're just bad people. And until we get a fair and free press in this country, they're just bad people. I mean, look how easy. Here you have, all they have to do is just go, huh? 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way, and you got it. They don't want to do that. They're the enemy of the people. They are. They're the enemy of the, I've been asked not to say it. I don't want to say it. They're the enemy of the people. And someday they're not going to be the enemy of the people, I hope. Just days ago, a young U.S. Marine Corps veteran named Nicholas Quetz, from right here in Arizona, you know about it, was driving through Mexico for a beach week.